You see, Ashi, the first time Yerushalayim is mentioned is in Tanakh with David HaMelech. David declared Yerushalayim as the capital of Israel. And of course, after David comes his son, Shlomo HaMelech. You know Shlomo. He built the Beit HaMikdash in Yerushalayim, and we had that Beit HaMikdash for over 410 years. Pause. Sadly, Galut Bavel began, and the Babylonians destroyed the first Beit HaMikdash. The Jews were sent into exile and out from our capital, Yerushalayim. Many years later, King Cyrus allowed the Jews to return and begin rebuilding the second Beit HaMikdash. The second Beit HaMikdash was glorious and beautiful and stood for over 400 years. During that time, the Yevanim, the Greeks, took over Yerushalayim and began desecrating and defiling, ruining the Beit HaMikdash. Ashi, you remember the Hanukkah story. This is when it happened. The Maccabees fought back and Baruch Hashem were victorious. But after that, the Romans took control of Yerushalayim. And soon, due to Sinat Chinam, Hashem punished the Jewish people, and the Romans destroyed the second Beit HaMikdash. There were revolts, attempts to take back Yerushalayim, but ultimately the Jews were left in Galut and out of Yerushalayim with no Beit HaMikdash. And during this time, instead of treating each other with love and respect, Bnei Israel were mean to one another, to their own people, and ultimately, this is the reason we lost the Beit HaMikdash, and this is the reason we're still waiting for the third one to be rebuilt. After this exile, Jews were often banned from coming to Yerushalayim, and we never returned to claim it as ours. Instead, Yerushalayim was conquered by many different people, and while there was always a Jewish presence there, Jews were spread out all over the world living in Galut. And that's why here at Yavna, this year we're focused on Chesed, on Ahavat Chinam, to building a culture of kindness. And through our kind midot to one another and to fellow Jews, greeting them in kind and friendly ways, demonstrating V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, we are hoping to rebuild the third Beit HaMikdash. Well, back to the history of Yerushalayim, Ashi. The Ottoman Empire took control, and they didn't take care of the city. They built walls around it. Jews began moving back and to build up the Jewish presence outside of these new walls. And then, about 100 years ago, Britain took control, and they allowed for a Jewish home in Israel, even though they continued with restrictions, especially around the Kotel. And as Jews started coming back, the Arabs in the area began to have disagreement with them. And finally, as we celebrate each year, in 1948, as all of us know well, Israel became our Jewish state. And Yerushalayim was divided and not fully under Jewish control. And at that time, the Arabs attacked, and Yerushalayim became a dangerous place for Jewish people to go. And then, almost 20 years later, in 1967, the war broke out. 50 years ago, the war called the Six-Day War. And then, incredible nisim occurred. Beautiful miracles. The IDF regained control of Yerushalayim of the Old City, and finally, as we know well, the Kotel was returned into Jewish hands.